Hey everyone, so today I'm filming a video that I've been waiting a really long time to film because this is like a personal type of video because it's gonna be about like what my tattoo means to me, and I recently just got this tattoo. Basically the whole meaning behind my tattoo is the fact that I really just gave my life to Jesus this year, and I'm gonna like explain what that means to me and like how it happened. And my only hope with this video is that it like encourages someone that like has gone through similar things that I've gone through, and just, I don't know, I just think that someone's testimony is like the most powerful and like beautiful story that they could ever tell, because it has like so much power to like impact other people, and like it allows other people to relate. So I decided that I'm going to brave telling like personal things about myself, because that's one of my fears, is like opening up to people. So I don't know, I just feel like my testimony like is very unlikely, if that makes sense, and it's just like things that I went through that I never thought I'd have to go through. But like looking back, I'm like, okay, like Jesus is gonna allow me to use this to help other people, and other people who might be in the same situations that never thought they would be there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you a little bit about my testimony. So basically, I'm gonna start the story in like 2016. I graduated from high school, and during that time my parents were going through a divorce, and my family just kind of like fell apart. I was living with my brother and my sister-in-law at the time, and then I ended up going off to college. And right when I went to college, I go to Ohio State now, and so Columbus is like 3 hours from home, so I was like away from like the situation, and like school was like a safe zone, whatever. Like for me, it was just like I could get away and like start a different life, and like that was awesome to me. Or that sounded awesome to me. So I got to school, but I ended up getting into this relationship, if you could even call it that, and it was just like super toxic and manipulative. And I was just always upset, always sad, and it was weird because like I was in Columbus, like in a city, like, and I was getting all these cool opportunities with work, and that like, to me, like work is so important to me, which sounds weird, but like I wanted to be a sports reporter, and like everything I was doing was so exciting, and I was getting all these cool opportunities, and I was like, wow, like God's really like showing up in my life. He's letting me pursue my dreams, like have a different life than what I grew up seeing, and all these things. But then I was just always sad because I was always putting myself in a position to just be like hurt. And basically I didn't really understand that much about like what love was, because like what I'd seen like growing up and stuff, it was just like love is not, like I didn't know what it really was because I'd seen so many bad examples of it. So I didn't understand like how I was supposed to be loved. So I just kept going back to this same manipulative situation, and I was like so upset. Like I would be like happy during the day, like happy, but then like just like other people would see me like smiling and laughing and like having fun, and I was to a point, but at the end of every day I would just like think about what I was actually going through, and I would just cry. Like almost every night of 2017 I just like would cry. And I went through one point where I was just like, I didn't want to leave my room, I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to do anything, and like it was really bad. And my friend, like the people that closest to me, like a few people knew like what was going on, but like most people didn't, because I was like really good at just being like, oh, I'm just overreacting, like I'm fine, and like acting fine, but I wasn't. So yeah, I was just like really sad, and it took me that entire year to like, I went through this for like a little bit over a year. And one day I just remember I was just so upset and in such a bad place that I just started going to church like twice a day, like 2 different churches. I was like, I just want to hear from God. Like I felt like I wanted to know him so badly, but like I didn't, and I just felt like there was like this wall between us. So I was like trying to like watch sermons all the time and like do all these things, but like nothing was changing. And I was like, God, like where are you at? Like why aren't you helping me? Like I'm miserable, like please help me. And so I would just be like so upset all the time. But, and one thing I really want to say is like I felt so trapped, and I like didn't know why, and I still don't really understand it that well, but I just felt so trapped. And it's like because I kept trying to get my worth from like this person, or like I kept letting like past hurts control me, and the enemy would tell me every day like, you're not worthy of love, you're like, this is what it's always gonna be like for you. And I just wanted to be happy, and like I didn't feel like I deserved it for some reason, which is really weird to say, but like people had made me feel like I didn't deserve to feel loved. And so that was like really hard to get over, and it's still like stuff I'm like battling today. But anyways, I was going to church, like I said, like twice a day. And it's one church I was going to at the time. I don't go there anymore, but I was going there at the time, and they brought up a mission trip that was happening, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And I was like, for some reason, I just kept thinking about it, and it just kept like coming to my mind, and I was like, you know, that could be a good way for me to just get away for like a week, and like I won't have to think about my problems for a week, because like I said, I felt so trapped, and I just wanted to forget about my problems. Like I didn't want to wake up. Like I wanted to just like sleep all the time, because when I was sleeping, like I didn't have to think about like the stuff I was going through. So I was like, you know what, I could get away for a week, go to another country, and the trip was to Guatemala. It was really expensive, and I was like, you know, like I don't have like $2,000 to go on this trip, but I just really feel like I need to go on this trip, so I'm gonna make it happen. So I ended up signing up for it, and I just like babysat a ton. I like really got into babysitting and like working all the time, and then I ended up saving up enough money to go. And there was no way I should have been able to save up that much money, but it was like purely God, because like random things, like random like opportunities to like make money and stuff like that kept popping up. I was like, okay, God really wants me to go on this trip, like he's really showing me to go on this trip. So I went on the trip, and it was like so uncomfortable for me because I didn't know anyone. And so at first I was like, oh, why did I go on this trip? Like, this is so uncomfortable. And I'd never been out of the country, never flown on a plane, so everything was so new to me. And this was this year in March for spring break. So, and right now it's 2018. So I went on this trip, and the whole time, like, the people I was around were just so like joyful. Like, they just like had this happiness, and they were so excited about like Jesus, and I was like, I'm not like this. Like, I'm not happy. Like, I'm not so excited about Jesus, because like I don't even really trust him that much, because I like ask him every day like where he's at, you know what I mean? So it was like really hard, but also it was really eye-opening, because I was like, I can have this. Like, I can be like this. I just need to make changes to my life. So I was like, okay, so I'm not living like how I should be living. And the whole week, it was just like God was showing me like how much he loved me, and like how worthy I was of his love, and like how worthy I was to live a life that I wasn't living, but like that he could give me. So basically the whole theme of the trip was like the verse John 3:16, where it says like, God so loved the world that he sent his only son so that we might have eternal life. One time I heard someone say, I think it was in like a sermon or something, but someone said replace the phrase the world with your name, because like when Jesus was on the cross, he like thought of you individually. And like that's so true. Like, he died knowing that I was gonna mess up, and that I was gonna go through all these things, and that I wasn't gonna live my life for him for 20 years, and he still died for me. So that like to me was insane. But I didn't really like think of the verse until after, because I ended up deciding to get baptized. I was like, you know what, like I'm not gonna do this halfway stuff anymore. Like, I'm putting myself through so much pain by living how I want to live. So you know what, like I'm gonna live how God wants me to live. Like, he kept just showing me like there's so many things that he wants me to do. Like, I have so many gifts and talents that he's gonna like develop in me, and he's gonna use my story to like change other people's lives. And so I was just like, okay, I don't know how, but like, okay. And so I just like recommitted my heart to him sometime on that trip, and then I like decided to get baptized. So like the next day after I told someone I wanted to get baptized, they like set it up so that I could get baptized like in the middle of Guatemala City. Like, it was just so cool and such an amazing experience. But I remember just being like, this means like, to me and my heart, this means like, Jesus, like I am going all in, and this is like a symbol of my promise to you. So I did that, and when I say I came back a different person, like literally I came back a different person. But the whole significance of my tattoo that I wanted to explain, which I'll like insert a clip of my tattoo or a picture, but the whole significance of it is it says 316, and I realized like later on that someone like mentioned that they're like, today's 316, and I was like, okay, that's really cool, because like it was 3/16/18, March 16th, and the whole time on the trip, God was just like showing me how worthy I was, like how much He loved me, that He sent His Son to die for me, and He showed me in so many different ways, in so many like personal ways in my life. And I was just like, 316, like that was the whole verse that He explained in so many ways to me and showed me in so many ways throughout the whole trip. And it was all about like how much God and Jesus loved me. And then to get baptized on that day, I was like, that's like, to me, that was God's way of just saying like, this is like, yeah, you're not like crazy, like this is what I was trying to show you, this is what it was all about. And like I took you, like I pursued you for 20 years, like I took you to another country just to show you that. And I was just like that just like is so amazing to me. And like I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get this tattooed. And this was like right after the trip. I was like, I want to get this tattooed, but I kept chickening out, and I was just like, bro, like I need to just get this. And this, now it's December of 2018, which is like, I don't even know, 9 months later, 8 or 9 months later. I'm not good at math, but anyways, yeah, it's like 8 or 9 months later, and I finally got it. And this, just to me, it's like something that I got it on my wrist so that it's something I can just like look at if I'm ever like feeling overwhelmed or just like upset, because like I'm gonna go through things in my life and like seasons of my life where I'm not gonna be like always happy, but I can just like look down at it and remember like how dark of a place I was in and how like hopeless I was. And I can be like, you know, Jesus like chased me down when I was that low. Like if I can get through that, and if He can like take me through that and get me through it, then like He can get me through anything, and like I have nothing to worry about. Like I give my life to Him, and He's like got me, like He's holding me in the palm of His hand. Like just, there's so much, like it's just so like beautiful to me, like how much He does, like what He does for us, and like how He pursues us, like even when we're messing up every single day, even when we're discounting like our worth if we don't understand it. Like He has a plan for everything, and He had a plan for what I was going through, and He taught me so many things. And I truly believe that those things are going to allow me to help other people, or other like young women especially going through like terrible relationships, or just like discounting their worth, or like family issues. Like there's so many things I never thought I would have to go through that I went through, and I didn't even, like I just gave you like 2 basic examples of what I was going through, and there was like a lot more to it. But I just think it's amazing how God can use like anyone, and He can like take your story and like allow it to impact so many people. So yeah, I just wanted to basically explain like how low I was feeling. Like I was sad all the time, it was terrible, and I felt so trapped, and I was convinced in my mind like I'm never gonna be happy again, like I don't deserve to be happy. Like I don't know why I thought I didn't deserve to be happy, but I really did. And to me that just like is so insane now. Like looking at my life, I'm like, I am happy. Like even if I'm not happy all the time, like I have joy in my heart, I have peace in my heart. Like I know that God's gonna get me through anything, no matter what my circumstances look like. And if I ever need a reminder, I can just look down at my wrist and remember 316, everything that God did. Like I feel like I can sum up in that verse and that date, and it just means so much to me. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And if anyone has any questions, or if you want to share a little bit of your testimony below, go ahead and comment. But yeah, I figured I would make this like a more casual video. That's why I'm like in my car, because I just wanted it to be like really heartfelt, and I don't know, just it doesn't have to be staged. Like you can share your story anywhere, anytime. And I just thought that filming in my car, like I go to my car to pray, I go to my car to read my Bible. It's just kind of like a safe space for me, and it always has been. So I just wanted to go ahead and do that in here and tell my story in here. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to leave your testimony below, go ahead. If you want to subscribe, comment, send an encouraging note, anything. I'm so glad that you guys tuned in. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.